The visit by the South Fund delegation follows late last year's visit to 4 Gulf countries, namely Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and United Arab Emirates by Malawi's Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka on an assignment to negotiate for funding for various developments in Malawi. Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka disclosed that it was during Tuesday's meeting that South Fund announced financial provision of $20 million for the construction of Blantyre District Hospital and will also fund construction of Maganjira Road in Mangochi. Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka described the development as timely, saying it will help speed up the project, which has been stagnant for some time.
The delegation that has come today to visit us is coming from the Saudi Fund. You may recall that they committed to support the Blantyre District Hospital. Initially, they committed to provide almost $20 million, and they're going to co-finance together with the Kuwait Fund. So their visit here is to, of course, to meet us, meet the Minister of Health, and also it's a fact-finding mission, and also perhaps they may have an opportunity to even visit the site from. So in other ways, that we are excited because it means that the Saudi government is ready to support the Blantyre District Hospital, and also they are ready to make sure that the other projects like Maganjira Road, you are aware also they had committed. There was a bill that I presented in Parliament. They also committed to support those projects.
In an interview, South Fund Senior Loan Operations Expert of Africa, Ahmad Al-Majuli, expressed confidence in Malawi's development plans, saying it provides clear motivation for South Fund to provide the assistance. Al-Majuli added that South Fund will also co-finance the project with Kuwait Fund.
We are focusing on the priority of the government of Malawi. So if their priority is health or roads or education, we are participating in the priority of the government. We are planning to expand our participation in Malawi.
Construction works for the Blantyre District Hospital is spec'd at $32 million. According to Director of Infrastructure in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Sanderson Kuyeli, it is projected that construction works for the hospital will run for 2 years. Charles Wahara, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Charles Muhango has pledged to rehabilitate Mzenga Magistrate Court in Senior Chief Kabunduri's area in Nkatabe after a 30-year closure. The move is expected to improve access to justice for thousands of people who currently travel long distances to have their disputes settled. Hassan Piri reports.
This dilapidated and out-of-shape building was constructed long time ago with the single purpose to provide justice to the people of this area. But people from this area, in the area of traditional authority Kabunduli in Nkatabe, they have to travel over 40 kilometers to Nkatabe Boma just to get justice. It has been a long time since the last time this building provided its services of delivering justice to the people of this area. According to Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Charles Muhango, the situation has placed a heavy burden on local communities, especially as they continue to face continuous land disputes involving the community around Nzenga and Kawala's tea estate in Nkatabe.
It tells me that if you transfer somebody from here to deal with them over the wrangles here in Nkatabe, the magistrate there, the court there, they will not appreciate what is physically on the ground here. Whereas if we had a magistrate resident here, the court staff here, the interpreters, they know what they are talking about here, and the witnesses here, the complainants here, I think we're going to do much better in terms of helping the people of Muzenga, the people of Kabunduli, the people of Kawalazi, in terms of resolving their disputes.
The minister visited the abandoned court following concerns raised by Member of Parliament for the area, Paulos Kapangama Chiumia, who said residents are struggling to access justice due to the longer distance to the district court.
It has been a challenge to my locals whenever they face with the legal battle, it has been a great challenge since they have to travel a long distance from Mzenga, wherever it is, from Kabunduli or Nkatabe West Coast Race. They have to travel long distance, close to maybe 100 kilometers, just to seek justice from Mzenga Court to Nkatabe District Magistrate Court.
Muhango further said recently he has been appreciating the status of magistrate courts across Malawi and has since pledged government's commitment to rehabilitating or abandoned magistrate courts across the country so that Malawians can access justice within their communities. Hassan Piri, MBC News, Nkarabe.
The Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee probing the plane crash that killed former Vice President Saulos Chilima and 8 others says the visit to the crash site at Ntungwa has given it critical insight into the terrain and the challenges faced by rescue teams. The committee chairperson, Walter Nyamilandu Manda, said the team is touring all key sites and meeting relevant stakeholders to gather evidence for its preliminary investigation. Chimwemwe Milulu reports.
Speaking after visiting the plane crash site at Mtungwa in the Vipya plantations in Nkarabe, Nyamilandu Manda said on the ground, visits are essential to understanding what happened and informing the committee's recommendations.
This is where the scene happened, and we decided to come here to get acquainted to the terrain, get a full story, understand the processes that were used on that day to identify the site, how they handled the bodies, and how they moved on from here. Without that information, it would have been very difficult for us to ask the right questions. So we're pretty much here on an orientation exercise before we go into examining witnesses. So this is just part of our preliminary investigations.
The committee's work forms part of the parliamentary's mandate to establish the circumstances surrounding the June 2024 plane crash. During the visit, the ad hoc committee was briefed by the Malawi Defense Force, Malawi Police Service, the Department of Civil Aviation, the Ministry of Health, and Malawi Red Cross Society officials. The committee and other key stakeholders also visited Nzuzu Airport, where the plane was scheduled to land.
Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Chimwemwe Chipungu, says government is working to ensure contractors working on new houses for security personnel receive their payments to finalize the project. Chipungu made the remarks after inspecting the houses in Chinsapo, Lilongwe, following reports of vandalism at the houses that turned out to be false. Details in this report by Madalito Mhango.
After touring the security personnel houses in Chisabo, Lilongwe, Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Chimwemwe Chipungu, says he is impressed with the progress of the project. He says government is working to ensure all contractors receive their payments to complete the construction projects. Chipungu asked that government plans to construct 12,500 additional houses to address accommodation challenges faced by security officers in the country.
We have so many unfinished projects that require money, and we are rating all contractors based on the percentage on completion. So we are starting with those that have done possibly 100% going down. But I can assure you that funds permitting, all these houses will be finished so that our men in uniform should be, living in good conditioned houses.
Director of Sadeko Gem Construction, Kudzo Bandula, says most of the houses are at 90% completion rate, with few houses yet to be roofed.
Most of the houses are already roofed. We are almost 65% progress. We are hoping that when we get paid soon, we should be able to move fast and maybe finalize the works.
The construction of 100 security personnel houses at Kinsapo site is valued at 6 billion kwacha. Madalito Muhango, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Construction of a girls' hostel at Mangochi Community Technical College has reached an advanced stage, with authorities projecting completion by the end of June 2026. According to the college's principal, Mbasa Mwawembe, the World Bank-funded project is valued at over 1 billion kwacha. Once finished, it is expected to benefit more than 50 female students. Sotin Indazi has compiled this report, being read by Owen Mavula.
According to Principal for Mangochi Community Technical College, Mbasa Mwawembe, the World Bank-funded project will help reduce challenges that female students pursuing different courses at the college have been facing. He cited long distance to reach the facility as the main challenge, adding that some female students renting out of the campus have been victims of unplanned pregnancies.
The girls that are going to come here, they'll have an advantage because we have faced a lot of challenges with girls who commute, who have their safe boarding, because they are not able to complete their education. Most of them end up, some of them being expectant, impregnated, and also it's also tough for them to get money for rent. It's also challenging for them, and also they also have a lot of temptations because they are living outside. Besides that, most of the parents are not sure about the security of their children who are here. Because of that, that's why we have had a lot of instances where we have girls dropping out because of pregnancies.
For her part, one of the female students at the institution commended government and World Bank for the initiative, saying it will help create a conducive environment for them to pursue technical skill courses better.
And it will help us to improve our performances. We learn a long distance to cover this school. So as for us, it will help us.
Mangochi Community Technical College was officially opened on 25th May 2017, and the facility has produced over 1,000 students.
You're watching MBC News. Here's a reminder of our top stories. Government secures funding to construct Blantyre District Hospital and Mangochi Makanjira Road. Parliamentary ad hoc committee probing plane crash that killed former Vice President Dr. Chilima and 8 others gains key insights from Mtunga crash site visit. Malawi commemorates World Metrology Day with a call to embrace standard measures at all levels. Welcome back. Government has called for the embracement of metrology at all levels of society, saying it is the pillar for economic growth. Principal Secretary for Industrialization, Bright Molande, made the remarks in Blantyre during commemorations of the World Metrology Day. Now joining us live is our reporter, Charles Pensulo. Good afternoon, Charles.
Afternoon, Opile.
So briefly tell us, what is metrology?
Yeah, thank you so much. Metrology is the science of measurements and all its applications. And as you have put it, Malawi joined the world in commemorating Metrology Day. So to put it, metrology helps in making sure that there is fair in trade. Because, for instance, if you have gone to the market to buy a bottle of 1 liter cooking oil, you have to make sure that the bottle is indeed 1 liter and it is worth the amount that you are paying. So that is metrology, and it makes that sure that there is fair in trade, as I said, and that the consumer is satisfied with what he or she gets from the trader.
So what are the key highlights in this year's commemorations of Metrology Day?
Yeah, the key highlights were that there were some stakeholders who took part in the commemoration. And I can take you back that over 150 years ago, this metrology was established by nations to protect consumers and to make sure that there is, like I said, a fair trade in goods and services.
Yes.
So during the meeting today, which was held in Blantyre, the stakeholders encouraged each other to make sure that they embrace metrology. And speaking to the conference was the guest of honor, Principal Secretary for Industrialization in the Ministry of Trade, Dr. Bright
Bright
Moland.
Moland.
Yeah, so he encouraged Malawians to make sure that at all levels they embrace metrology, because this is crucial for the development of the country, because people or traders are trusted if they are making standard measurements.
Yes.
Even nations or development partners trust nations if they see that those nations are standardizing their measurements.
Yes.
So in so doing, investors are able to come to a country, an area, and invest in that area because they know that you are embracing standard measurements.
All right. So did you at least get a chance to speak to one or two people who are embracing metrology, and if at all, what they have to say?
Yeah, I tried to speak to some of them who participated to the conference.
Yes.
Yeah, and one of them is the man working with Malawi Liverpool Welcome Trust,
Yes.
and he does his trade in the health sector. So he assured me that there is need also for other sectors, including the health sector, to embrace metrology, because if you go to the hospital and maybe you find a clinician wants to know how your body is, how you are feeling, there is need for accurate information,
Yes.
accurate data from you.
Yes.
Because if he or she gives you the information which is not accurate, you can lose life.
Yeah, true.
Yes, yeah. So there is need for all sectors: the agriculture sector, the education sector, the health sector, the industrialization. The industries should also embrace metrology to make sure that those receiving the services should be satisfied, and we can also save life.
All right, Charles. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Upire.
All right, now moving on. Director of Public Officers Declarations, Michael Josiwa, has disclosed that the Directorate has formulated a new strategic plan aimed at ensuring compliance with asset declaration laws among public officers. Josiwa made the disclosure when his office appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Public Appointments to present an update on the status of declarations. Details in this report by Chinsisi Moyo.
Director General of Audibod, Michael Josiwa, told the Parliamentary Committee on Public Appointments that the office is operating with only 21 members of staff tasked to oversee about 18,000 public officers across more than 200 institutions required to declare their assets. Josiwa said the staffing shortage has significantly affected operations, limiting effective verification and enforcement. However, he expressed optimism that the planned digital migration of the system will help address some of these challenges.
We want to institute the online declaration system. As you are aware, currently, public officers declare using paper-based system. They have to print the document and then write it on the document freehand. That one is cumbersome. And they are also to submit the document, a physical document, to our offices. That's also cumbersome. They have to travel.
Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Public Appointments, Joshua Malango, commended Audiport for taking steps aimed at improving compliance and strengthening verification mechanisms.
We are moving into a digital era where the issues of declarations and verifications and tabulation has to be done digitally. We'll keep on engaging the institution. As we have heard, the key challenge is staffing. They have a low number of staffing officers. So we engage the relevant government institution.
The new strategic plan, which is set to be officially launched on May 28, is expected to cost approximately 16 billion kwacha for implementation in the next 5 years. Chinsisi Moyo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Chief Resident Magistrates Court in Blantyre has set aside 5 days from 16 to 19 June this year to hear defense witnesses for Wimaxter, who is answering charges related to sexual abuse. Magistrate Paul Chuocha granted the dates after the defense lawyer Michael Goba Chipeta requested more time to finish gathering evidence in the case. He said the defense side has 16 witnesses, but expressed surprise at the state's request for the court to revoke the suspect's bail on the grounds that they were delaying the court proceedings. Responding to the matter, the state prosecutor, Victor Jere, said they had asked the court to cancel the bail so that the case could proceed more quickly. Magistrate Jocha said he would deliver his ruling on the application to revoke bail when the court reconvenes. Moving on to sports, First Capital Bank, FCB, has reaffirmed its commitment to honoring senior citizens through various sporting activities, including golf. Speaking during the prize presentation ceremony of the 2026 FCB Seniors Golf Championship held at Limbi Country Club, FCB Head of Marketing and Communications, Twikali Chirwa, said the bank sponsored the tournament in recognition of the vital role senior citizens play in the country's development and in the growth of the bank. In the competition, Kingsley Shindima Mhango emerged champion in the men's category, while Sheila Shinkandwe won the ladies' title. More than 40 golfers participated in the tournament. Still in sports, Arsenal are Premier League champions since they last won the 2023-2024 league. The Gunners clinched the 2025-2026 title with a game to spare after Manchester City drew 1-1 at Bournemouth. Arsenal sit top on 82 points, 4 clear of second-placed City on 78. It ends a 22-year wait for the club and seals a long-awaited return to the summit of English football. Well, that item concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our headlines before we leave. Government secures funding to construct Blantyre District Hospital in Mangochi Makanjira Road. Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee probing plane crash that killed former Vice President Dr. Chilima and 8 others gains key insights from Muntungwa crash site visit. And Malawi commemorates World Metrology Day with a call to embrace standard measures at all levels. For live news updates, visit our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Obile Gaisa. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely afternoon.
Sabara ino mu program ya Woman Talk.
Kupemphera ndi kwabwino koma anthu ena zimene akumapanga ati kumadzuka mbanda kucha kupemphera mokuwa kuyimayimba makorasi